Long before glowing touchscreens, wireless internet, and powerful pocket-sized computers became part of everyday life, people relied on a very different kind of technology. It didn't store information as ones and zeros or process everything through digital code. Instead, it worked by representing the world in a continuous, physical way. From the crackle of a vinyl record to the sweeping hands of a clock, analog technology was once the backbone of communication, entertainment, transportation, and science. Even today, despite the dominance of digital devices, analog technology hasn't completely disappeared. In fact, many modern inventions still depend on analog principles working quietly behind the scenes. Right here, on History of Simple Things. At its core, analog technology represents information through continuously changing physical values. Instead of dividing data into digital bits, analog systems rely on smooth, uninterrupted changes in things like electrical voltage, sound waves, air pressure, or mechanical movement. A simple thermometer is a good example. As the surrounding temperature changes, the liquid inside rises or falls gradually instead of jumping between fixed values. The same principle applies to an old clock with moving hands, which measures time through continuous motion rather than electronic calculations. Because many natural processes change gradually, analog technology often mirrors the way the real world behaves. The earliest inventions were naturally analog because they depended entirely on physical movement. Sundials tracked the sun's position, water clocks measured the steady flow of water, and mechanical scales relied on balance and gravity. These devices solved everyday problems long before electricity existed. When electricity became widely available, analog technology entered a new era. Engineers discovered they could transmit continuously changing electrical signals, making inventions like the telephone, radio, and television possible. For much of the 20th century, analog systems powered music players, televisions, cameras, and countless household devices, making them the standard technology of their time. Many classic technologies are analog. Vinyl records store music as tiny grooves that guide a needle to recreate sound, while cassette tapes preserve audio using changing magnetic fields. Film cameras capture light through chemical reactions instead of digital image sensors, giving each photograph a unique character. Other familiar examples include pressure gauges, needle speedometers, radio tuning dials, and traditional clocks. Instead of showing information through digital numbers, these devices communicate changes through smooth physical movement, making them simple and intuitive to read. Although many of these devices have been replaced by digital versions, they are still valued for their reliability and timeless design. In some industries and hobbies, analog equipment continues to be used because it performs its job effectively without unnecessary complexity. The biggest difference between analog and digital technology is how information is represented. Analog systems use continuous signals, while digital systems convert information into binary numbers made of zeros and ones. Digital technology makes data easier to copy, edit, store, and transmit without losing quality. Analog recordings, on the other hand, gradually wear down over time and are more vulnerable to interference. Even so, many people still appreciate the warmth of vinyl records, the look of film photography, and the natural characteristics of analog equipment, giving these older technologies a lasting appeal. Rather than viewing one as better than the other, it's more accurate to say that each has strengths suited to different purposes. Although digital devices dominate modern life, analog technology remains essential. Microphones first convert sound into analog electrical signals. Cameras detect incoming light as analog information, and speakers transform digital files back into analog sound waves that people can hear. Analog electronics are also found in medical equipment, industrial sensors, scientific instruments, and countless everyday devices. Even smartphones and computers rely on analog circuits whenever they interact with the physical world, proving that analog technology continues to play an important supporting role. Without these analog components, digital devices would have no practical way of receiving information from their surroundings or producing outputs that people can see and hear. Analog technology laid the foundation for many modern inventions. Early communication systems, measuring instruments, and recording devices helped shape the technologies that eventually became digital. More importantly, analog technology closely reflects how the natural world works. Sound, light, temperature, and motion all change continuously, making analog systems especially effective at measuring and representing these physical processes. Today, analog and digital technologies work together, each contributing its own strengths to modern electronics. As technology continues to evolve, analog engineering remains an essential bridge between the physical world and the digital systems that have become part of everyday life. Analog technology represents one of humanity's most important technological foundations. For centuries, it allowed people to measure time, record music, transmit voices, capture photographs, and explore the world using continuous physical signals rather than digital code. Although digital technology now dominates daily life, analog principles remain deeply woven into countless modern devices. Rather than becoming obsolete, analog technology has become an essential partner to digital innovation. Every time a microphone records a voice, a speaker plays music, or a camera captures light, analog processes are still at work. Its legacy lives on not only in vintage equipment but also inside the advanced technologies that shape the modern world, proving that sometimes the oldest ideas continue to play a vital role in the newest inventions. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.